I've always loved hiking. It's my way of clearing my head. Back in the summer of 2019, I decided to go on a solo hike at a trail about 40 minutes outside the city. It wasn't anything extreme, just one of those moderately long trails that loop through dense woods, the kind where you don't see many people once you're a mile or two in. That morning was hot, but the trees gave plenty of shade. I parked in the small gravel lot where only 2 other cars were parked. I stretched, slung my small backpack on, and started walking into the woods. I wasn't worried about anything. I'd done this sort of hike dozens of times before. The deeper I went, the quieter it got. The buzzing of traffic faded, replaced by the hum of insects and the crunch of gravel beneath my boots. I remember feeling calm, almost lulled by the silence. But every now and then, I had this odd sense that someone else was nearby. A branch snapping, the faint shuffle of leaves, just those tiny noises you brush off as squirrels or birds. About 3 miles in, I stopped to drink water and sit on a fallen log. That's when I first noticed it. Something that didn't feel right. Off the trail, maybe 30 yards in the woods, I thought I saw a man standing behind a tree. He wasn't moving, just standing completely still, almost blending into the bark. At first, I convinced myself it was just a trick of my eyes, the way shadows play in the woods. By the time I focused again, there was nothing there. I pushed it out of my mind and kept going, but the feeling stayed with me. Every so often, I'd glance back down the trail, half expecting to see someone behind me. Nothing. The trail looped deeper into the woods. Around the halfway point, I came across an old wooden bench, the kind hikers use to rest. I sat down, pulled out a granola bar, and tried to relax. That's when I heard footsteps, distinct, slow, crunching the gravel from the direction I had just come from. I froze, but when I turned, the trail was empty. No one was there. I waited, holding my breath, listening. Nothing. That was the first time I felt real unease, that prickling on the back of my neck. I packed up and decided to move faster. Another mile went by and I kept scanning the woods. At one point, I noticed shoe prints on a patch of soft dirt. They weren't mine. I could see my tread pattern, and these were different, larger. They looked fresh, like someone had just walked through. My heart started pounding, but I told myself it was probably just another hiker. After all, people do use the trail. Maybe I was overthinking. By the time I reached the last stretch of the loop, I was moving quickly, almost jogging. The woods felt heavier, quieter. I remember thinking how badly I just wanted to see the parking lot again. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement. To my right, about 20 feet into the trees, a figure was walking parallel to me. I could see flashes of him through the gaps. Dark clothes, tall, keeping pace with me. I didn't stop to get a better look. Instinct kicked in, and I picked up speed, practically running down the trail. My chest tightened with panic. I could hear twigs snapping in the woods like he was still moving alongside me. When I finally broke through the tree line and saw the lot ahead, I felt the greatest wave of relief I ever known. But that relief didn't last long. There were only 2 cars left, mine and one old beat-up sedan. And leaning against that sedan, arms crossed, was the man. He was real. He had been following me the entire time. I didn't make eye contact. I just walked as quickly as I could to my car, unlocked it, and got inside. My hands were shaking so bad it took me 2 tries to get the key in the ignition. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw him watching me, just standing there, staring. I drove off so fast the tires kicked up gravel behind me. I didn't look back. For days afterward, I couldn't stop thinking about what would have happened if I had tripped, or if I had lingered on the trail a little longer. That trail was miles of woods with no cell service. No one would have known where I was. I never went hiking alone again. And the part that still makes my stomach turn, when I told a friend about it later, he said that trail had a reputation. A few years back, a man had been arrested there for stalking hikers, hiding in the woods, waiting. I don't know if it was the same guy, but I know what I saw, and I'll never forget the way he just stood there, waiting at the end of the trail.